We continue to follow breaking news from the Prime Minister's office. In a statement released just moments ago, it's been announced that Justin and Sophie Trudeau are separating after 18 years of marriage. The statement reads, "Sophie and I would like to share the fact that after many meaningful and difficult conversations, we have made the decision to separate. As always, we remain a close family with deep love and respect for each other and for everything we have built and will continue to build. For the well-being of our children, we ask that you respect our and their privacy." And with more on this breaking news, we're joined live by Nik Nanos of Nanos Research. Thank you so much for joining us, Nik. You know, if there's one thing that that really stands out in this statement that I'm sure many agree is to offer that respect to the Prime Minister and his family. And generally, when it comes to politics, there's fair criticism for the person that's in public life, but for those who are private citizens who are not in politics, generally that's off the table. I'm just curious about your reaction to this statement that recently put out by the Prime Minister.
Well, the reality is whenever there's any type of separation or divorce, that it's a sad situation. It's a sad situation for the family. And, this is not unusual. There are many Canadians who probably empathize and sympathize with any kind of couple that goes through difficult times. The reality is just by being Prime Minister puts a certain level of stress on any relationship. And there are always, for a number of Prime Ministers, there's always been kind of mutterings related to how the relationship with their spouse is going. In this particular case, it looks like Justin Trudeau and Sophie Trudeau have decided to separate as a result of the situation. That said, I think people have to tread very carefully on an issue like this because there will be nothing more unseemly than to look to make political gain out of a difficult personal situation for both Sophie Trudeau and Justin Trudeau. So I think the opposition leaders in the parties have to be very careful on how they tread on this issue.
I was going to ask you about that because obviously, you have the optics of the Prime Minister and his marriage breaking down, and at a time when there are just countless major issues affecting Canadians, those who are having troubles putting food on their table, the affordability crisis. We've got the housing crisis, and there have been a lot of attack ads even from the opposition recently. And I'm just from your expertise, obviously that would be some pretty shaky ground to tread on if the opposition were to try and make any political gains from this unfortunate situation for the Trudeaus.
I think that probably the other, fair thing for Canadians to hear and understand is, the fact that, Justin Trudeau will continue to focus on the files because, it's got to be difficult. Let's face it. Anybody that is in this particular situation would find it difficult to cope not just with family responsibilities in this particular situation, but also with work responsibilities. So, I think there'll probably be Canadians will be focused on how Justin Trudeau is coping through this. And his family, but also what it means for his job as Prime Minister. It might mean that some cabinet ministers might have to step up a little bit to cover some of the files in order to allow Justin Trudeau to kind of get through this period and try to get back to some type of new normal, whatever that might be for him.
The Prime Minister on any given day, on any given week, is on the receiving end of some pretty fierce criticism, not only from his political critics, but also just from the public. But if there's one thing that this really does highlight is this is just, these are two human beings, just like anyone else out there. They have problems with their private life and the marriage. And marriage is not an easy thing. And this really just highlights that this is a really sad situation, a tragic situation for this family.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is it's difficult for everyone. The other thing is that I think eventually there will probably be some sort of discussion, narrative, whatever you want to call it, related to whether it was just the two of them growing apart or what it might be. I think the one potential risk is that if there's any sense of some inappropriate behavior, that might not be good for the personal reputation of either of the individuals. So I think that's the thing to watch out for. That said, there are many instances where people just grow apart, and that it's kind of a sad situation, but something that just happens.
Nik Nanos of Nanos Research, we appreciate your time and perspective. Thank you.
Thank you.